And hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Fun Speculation Podcast. This is episode number 119. And actually got some really cool news and some awesome stuff to talk about today. Plus, we actually have a guest today on FSP, which is something we don't do a whole lot of. But I saw this guy and I got to podcast with him once on Boom show, and I've noticed him a little bit more around the community because of Boom and all the stuff that he does over there. And Boom's always kind of one of those guys that just always introduces awesome people to everybody. And I was glad to get to know him a little bit in the background and stuff. And awesome person. I wanted to have him on our show, so I want to say what's up to you, Korkenstein. Thanks for being here, man, and tell everybody a little bit about your background and stuff, and what you got going on.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on the show, and everybody, hello. Yeah, so I am Korkenstein. I've been pretty much on the gaming, Xbox kind of scene for a little while, but just kind of took that next level to starting a little bit more on podcast and content creation, and boom, just being the absolute just best dude ever was like, come on the show. And yeah, I previously worked at Electronic Arts for about 3 to 4 years. I have roughly about like 10 to 15 projects under my belt. I this was a long time ago too, so like I did Battle for Middle Earth, which is one of your favorites. I just recently found out. I worked on Crisis. We were a satellite team. Medal of Honor, Mercenaries series, I did just a little stint with that. Black and White, all these old classics you kind of grew up with if you're my age, with the a little bit of the gray beard here. So it's awesome. Working in the industry was such an eye opener on how it actually works. And it's cool to kind of have that little bit inside kind of track. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. And like you name dropped a lot of awesome games there, like Crisis and Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle Earth, and you mentioned like Black and White, and there was that was a great era. It was like a 360 era and stuff, and maybe even a little bit before that. But yeah, there was a lot of awesome games coming from EA and different franchises and stuff around that time. I miss some of them, man. I wish some of them would come back. But it's good to have that insight too, because one thing, one of the inspirations around our name for the channel is Fun Speculation. Is like us fans, like of gamers, like we play like armchair quarterback a lot, like. Hey, what the hell are they doing? Why is this going this way? Or how dare they do this with these games and stuff? And it's cool. Which is something we get with 3-Bit because he has a history working in the gaming industry as well. But it's cool to actually have people in the community that are in touch with the podcasting community and everything that kind of have a different perspective on things, that have a little bit more experience with how things actually work, you know what I mean? So it comes from a little bit of a different angle, so I always appreciate that. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the one and only Fuzzy Belvedere, the man of a million podcasts, the ramble and ranter himself. What's up, Fuzz? How you doing? And I noticed you doing this too with the whole graybeards comment, but I don't see any damn gray in there. Is there
there's
any?
There's a few little strands in there.
It's only on the like very tips. You got to grow it to a certain length before the gray shows up. I understand.
Yeah,
you probably
I trimmed it a little bit.
Shoe polish on it. Just gonna get the ends.
No, okay. No. I wind up trimming it a bit just so that way it's not as scraggly. But the wife keeps on tugging at the gray ones and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. Hold on, Fuzz.
No, but it's great to be here. Glad we got Korkenstein on here tonight. Man, it's been a great news day as far as with Xbox, with streaming stuff and the showcase and just a whole bunch of stuff, like countless games that we are playing and trying to catch up on my backlog. Finally got around to Scorn, which I've been putting off for the longest time. But man, it's an awesome time to be a gamer, but so glad to be here with you guys. And as far as for those that may have seen pictures at Crystal Lake, it's awesome. So if you ever get a chance to visit it in real life, where it's located in Jersey, definitely make the trip.
Yeah,
definitely make the trip.
It looked awesome. It looked like from your pictures and stuff, it looked like the generic campground that like people would go to like on a budget vacation camping holiday, you know what I mean? And it looks almost like some of the places I went when I was a kid when we went camping, you know, and you just
Mhm.
get mauled by mosquitoes for 2 days. Uh, but yeah, the pictures were awesome because I was like, wow, that's actually Crystal Lake, right?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty crazy to see that, man. And you've been taking your horror tour around the world. I know that it's like where's Fuzzy this weekend or where's Fuzzy this week, and it's always awesome to see your adventures, man. Yeah, it was a good news week, and hey, Cyber Gunter, I see your comment. It says I need this distraction because the Cowboys were dog shit. Okay, I see you. I understand. Yesterday I was a mess. Okay, I was I was a mess. I don't think I've ever been that disappointed watching a Cowboy game in a very long time. That was an eye opener. Well, I mean, it was a realization check, right? So, oh man, but yeah, that's been hard to swallow. Pause. Regarding the Cowboys and stuff, I think that we need some changes. But anyway, man, regarding gaming, yeah, it was some awesome news today. We had the announcement, the official announcement. It's been in the behind the scenes a little bit that they were going to do a partner or third party type smaller show soon, and that got officially announced today, happening on Thursday the 17th. I think it's at 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern, or something like that. And I guess what? If you want to watch it, come here and hang out with us because they'll be co-streaming it, and we can watch it together and have fun, just like we do on a lot of the showcases and stuff like that with gaming. I will be available to do that, so come hang out. We'll have some fun watching the co-stream of the partner preview show together as well, and we'll talk a little bit about what we could possibly expect on the show today. And one thing there will be is some world premieres, they said, so that's always intriguing. Is what could that possibly mean? I'm not expecting the biggest announcements to show up here, especially with the Game Awards only about 2 months away or so. I think they'll probably reserve some of the bigger things that they may have for that. But always awesome to watch an Xbox show, which is like the fifth one this year, maybe
Yeah.
fifth kind of showcase this year. Like it's pretty interesting. You see all of the social media conversation and stuff. I even had a tweet. I just said like Game Pass is glorious. I put up there a screenshot of the game's coming soon, and it was like Black Ops 6 and Flight Sim and Indiana Jones and I forget, there's a Stalker 2. I just think it's amazing. We have, in such a short time before the end of the year, we have these 4 awesome games that come out. But it's almost like I just put out that tweet saying gaming is glorious, or Game Pass is glorious, and it's like I set somebody's house on fire. You're not allowed to say that. Apparently, like the amount of people that come after you are just because you like Game Pass is absolutely crazy. But I will say also, there's been a lot of people saying that Xbox hasn't had anything this year and all these other things. You only have these 4 games and all this other kind of stuff. But like, hey, the one thing is true as well, is one thing we're going to talk about is 2024 ain't over yet. And I see a lot of scorecards being put out there already, right? With these other games coming out around the corner, as well as another showcase. We have the Game Awards as well. And also early next year, we already have more games in the pipeline to be excited for, actually, on Xbox as well. So people are putting out their scorecards for 2024 a little bit too early, I would say, focusing on third-party games that have been money-headed from PlayStation to bolster the lineup as a huge win, as a way to get games on your platform and stuff. But then when Xbox does it, it's kind of shat on as, hey, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. But it's an interesting conversation. But anyway, we got a couple super chats, and we'll get into some conversation here. A shout out to Alvin, hit us with a $5 super chat, says, beat a Kimbot, very fun, some true spectacle late. Yeah, it's one of these games, man, I need to get back to. There is a backlog, forward log, ever persistent log of games that I have to play right now, and gaming in general is just freaking glorious as well. And then here we go with Gaming Forte with the $5 super chat. I'm sure he's here to talk shit, because that's usually what he does whenever he shows up in the chat and does a super chat or something. Let's see what he has to say. Instead of making fun of your Zelda takes. Now I can say, how about them Cowboys? My Lions left no doubt. Still love you, bro. Yeah, I figured this was coming, Forte. Yeah, that was a shellacking like no other. I'm rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl. Because have they ever won before, Lions? I don't think they have. Right? No? Lions ever won? Forte, you should know this, right? I just want to see you.
I think they did in the 70s or 80s, I want to say, but I can't really say for sure.
Forte,
it's been a while.
Can you put in the chat how many Super Bowls the Lions have won? I'm just curious. Just for my information, I want to know how many Super Bowls in the history of this old ass franchise that's existed since I could remember. I remember seeing black and white footage of the Detroit Lions. How many Super Bowls have they won? I'm just here. No, they haven't won any. Forte, you're coming here talking shit with the $5 super chat about my Cowboys, and you're repping the Lions because I got one win, the first win against the Cowboys since 2013. You're gonna come in here with a super chat. You know why I don't come with super chat your show when the Cowboys beat the Lions? Because they do it almost every damn time they play. Okay, anyway, I'm done. All right, so let's talk about gaming again. Shout out to Forte. Love you, man. Show some respect. Hey, Dirt, come on. We got everybody coming after the Cowboys now. Alvin member for 28 months says Pumpkin Jack is $3 on Steam. Chorus is $5. Both. Wow. Yeah, it's some good deals. Appreciate you, Alvin. All right, so let's talk about 2024 first, and then we'll get into the partner preview show, right? So 2024 in general, like I see a lot of conversation just about like, hey, look at all of these games that PlayStation had, and they've had a good year with third parties and stuff like that. I agree. They've had a good year of games with exclusives and stuff like that. But I also see this whole conversation has been kind of going on for a long time is like, hey, Xbox has had nothing this year and all this other kind of stuff. Well, like, where do you see like Korkenstein, like Xbox overall for 2024, knowing the games that are still kind of yet to come and what we've already been delivered?
You know, I think they've been killing it, honestly. I mean, I've been eating good. You know, I primarily game in the Xbox ecosystem. You know, if something comes out on PlayStation that really piques my interest, you know, I'll go buy it. You know, I do have a PlayStation 5. But, you know, same with with Nintendo Switch or PC or something, you know, I kind of dabble in all of it. But I think Xbox has been doing really well. Like I said, I've been eating good. There's so many titles that I've been able to play thanks to Game Pass alone, just with third party and even first party output. We still haven't even seen like the massive part of it yet. You know, right. Xbox is still hitting their stride, like you said. I mean, we still have Diablo 4 just came out now, that big expansion. We still have Microsoft Flight Simulator to 2024, the big update there, which looks like it's going to be pretty awesome with the career paths, you know, the career modes and stuff. Indiana Jones, which I'm a huge big fan of. I don't know. I don't know what people are talking about. I've been eating good. I've been enjoying games this whole entire year from Xbox, even from PlayStation. I got to play some Astro Bot, which was a ton of fun. And yeah, I don't understand what they're talking about when they say, you know, Xbox has no games, you know. I mean, if anything, and this isn't to be console wars, but this is to hold PlayStation to a better standard, is right now PlayStation doesn't really have no games. Yeah, you had Rise of Ronin, but that wasn't, if I remember correctly, that wasn't a first party. You know, I mean, the biggest first parties they've had was
Astrobot,
and Concord.
And hell, I'll count, even though is it Arrowhead Studios or they, even though they're not owned, they're not owned by PlayStation. Like that's still an IP that PlayStation owns, I believe. I'm not 100% on that, so like I'm gonna count that one as well for like the first party. I thought Helldivers 2 was an awesome game. A lot, and here's the thing too, like you see like this kind of like checklist that people put online, like, hey, check this out, look at all these great third party exclusive games that PlayStation had this year, but they leave the ones that were failures out of the list. like intentionally, like Concord's not there, Foam Stars isn't there, you know, and things like that. Everybody forgot about Babylon's Fall, which I think came out in 2022, which was a exclusive as well that got canned in a year. It's crazy to say Babylon's Fall lasted almost a year longer than Concord. I mean, put that into perspective for a minute now. But like overall, like you can see the people pick and choose which third parties to celebrate. And they've had some good ones too. Silent Hill 2, surprisingly, I thought had some amazing reception, and it looks really good too. So I'm going to be getting that on PC at some point. Another thing is the third parties generally that are celebrated as being exclusive are also usually not actually exclusive as well, because most of those are actually coming to PC as well. So for me, I'm good. I have a PC and I have an Xbox, so I can play a lot of those if I want to. I just haven't had the desire to play some of those games, right? But I've been playing Age Mythology Retold. I've been playing Ara History Untold, which is 2 first-party releases that Xbox has had this year that absolutely get 0 credit. Like you see, like people put the lineup for the games and they've just put Hellblade 2 there. This is all Xbox had this year, but I'm like, well, okay, but these other games actually reviewed well. They have good reception, and they're actually being played by quite a few people that enjoy those genres. It's just people want to choose which genres are allowed to exist for some kind of count for console war conversation and stuff. And that knowing as well as like 4 of the biggest releases for Xbox we have this year are still coming out later this month, and then going into November and also December. But Fuzzy, like, you think what's for me, what the best is yet to come, even still in 2024 for Xbox?
Yeah, like, I mean, a lot of people ignore like the PC or the RTS games and things like that when they come to as far as like the first party for Xbox, but you can't ignore Call of Duty, and that's going to be here real soon. And yeah, a lot of people get to play it outside of the Xbox ecosystem as well, but that's the first party now, and people have to, come to that realization. You got the update just recently for Diablo 4. You got, Flight Sim, which I'm big on Flight Sim. Not everybody's into Flight Sim, but Flight Sim 2024, where it's going to be more gamified, I guess you could say, as far as activities and things to do. That's coming out here pretty soon. I know that they're running like some like early beta or early access tests and things like that. They're stressing the servers now, so that way when it launches, it everybody can go flying and not have a world crash kind of thing. You also got Indiana Jones coming later on this year, but there's just so much stuff, and they keep on updating or supporting the games that they have. Like we just got Shattered Space not too long ago. We got Forza Motorsport just got the Drift, expansion, or not really expansion, but like update. There's like tons of stuff right now, and I'm trying to catch up on the backlog still while playing. What do you call it? Starfield with the Shattered Space expansion, and then because I'm trying to get as much sci-fi into my life right now, I'm also playing Outer Worlds. Just getting back into that, because I picked it up in like 2019 or whenever it came out, and I did the one ending, but I didn't do like the full playthrough ending and whatnot, and just figured I'd go back and finish that up. So got that going, and like I said earlier, playing Scorn, and I know some people don't really like that one, but it makes for good gamer score stuff, and it's an interesting game nonetheless. It's not as spooky or scary as I had hoped, but it's got some grossness to it that's kind of charming in a way. But yeah, there's just so much stuff.
Did you just call Scorn charming?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're into like
of course,
the horror
the guy
stuff,
that travels the world going to Horror Fest.
I mean, you got this creature that like surrounded you. It didn't do the face hugger like Alien, but it kind of like wraps around you and it keeps on pulling your guts out and making you bleed and stuff like that. So yeah, it's got its charm to some extent. And they got these weird looking creature things that you gotta either hit with a jackhammer or shoot with like a weird tooth or eye bullet gun kind of thing. So yeah, it's charming.
Yeah, right on, man. That's not the word I would use to describe it, but it was a solid like puzzle game for sure. I just didn't want to touch anything. So, but it's required to solve the puzzles. So
Yeah.
I just kind of stood there and spun around in circles and said, "Nope, I'll pass." Um, Overall, though, I think it's a solid game. They've had some of those kind of come out and they kind of like, hey, this is a third party game that we're highlighting marketing. It's kind of either exclusive or we have a Game Pass deal for it for day and date, and and like really those they also get no credit for as well. But to me, like those are kind of like the same thing as like you would have with like a Silent Hill 2 or like a um what's the Stellar Blade or something like that. They're not like AAA huge, like massive, amazing games, but they are still something that has their audience for sure, right?
Yeah. But that's the frustrating part too, that I think with people making these lists and they make these exceptions. It's like with Activision, people don't like, oh, well, it wouldn't be a big year for Xbox if it wasn't for Activision. It's like saying, oh yeah, the Patriots wouldn't have won the Super Bowl without Tom Brady, or Kobe wouldn't, the Lakers wouldn't have won without Kobe. It's like, well, that's
Right.
the whole reason why they brought them onto the team, is to better, their team, to bring them up, to get them to a level where they needed to be. So how can you just say that it doesn't count when it's like, sorry, like no matter how much you kick and scream, Activision is Xbox now, whether you like it or not.
But Corkenstein, they're supposed to grow their own IP and foster creativity organically within their own studios. They're not supposed to go out there and buy publishers to be able to fulfill their fans' needs for games. But wait, it's okay to just pay for games to be not on other platforms and bolster your lineup that way.
Yeah, I mean, Bungie, real great job organically growing that company. I mean, Naughty Dog, I will give them credit with Naughty Dog and some, I mean, Naughty Dog's always been such a great studio. Same with Insomniac. They've always had these great games. They've just kind of taken the IP and marketed them so much. Did they really grow them organically? I don't think they really did. I think they just took those IPs to another level with marketing and getting a lot more of a user base behind them. The team's always been good. I don't think they really grew them in any meaningful way. They were talented developers regardless, before and after. So, I mean, Guerrilla Games too, the Horizon series, I absolutely love. Those, I mean, it's kind of hard to say what's really, it was a really silly narrative when it was coming out that I was reading, and I was like, yeah, you realize they've also bought into publishers that were already insanely talented and just marketed the IPs, like ridiculously to make them bigger and better.
Yeah, and we got the first brand new Call of Duty coming into the Game Pass fold this month with Black Ops 6, which is maybe going to be the biggest and best Call of Duty in a very long time. It has a lot of hype from the Call of Duty fan base. It has a lot of excitement. The zombie community is excited for it. The multiplayer community is excited for it. The single player community is excited for it. So all facets of this game seem to be kind of that next iteration of Black Ops that people have really been waiting for. And it's also going to be in Game Pass day and date, which still a lot of people don't even know. Even with all the marketing they're doing now, you still see like, whoa, it's in Game Pass? Like a comment on every thread you ever see, like with the Xbox thing with Game Pass and Call of Duty, people are like, oh, this is a Game Pass? That's pretty crazy. And now it's not only just going to be in Game Pass, but they're also bringing it to the cloud, right? So that's something that's happening this month as well, with not just Black Ops 6, but you're going to have Modern Warfare 3 and also Warzone be playable via the cloud, which I understand if you want to play competitive Call of Duty, it's not going to be the best way to play for sure. But there's millions of gamers that don't give a shit, right? That just like, hey, this is a game, I just want to play it. And even I think giving access to people to have the ability to play their games wherever is a feature that is kind of exclusive to Xbox as a platform holder that is not really celebrated as much. Even a game like Metaphor Refantasio that came out, it's not an Xbox exclusive. It's not an Xbox first party game. It's just a third party release that Xbox had marketing with, right? But by getting that game, I can play it on my PC and on the Xbox, right? Which I've been diving back and forth between, and I have only had to play it once. I pay for it once, right? So, which is awesome. I want to see more publishers embrace that. That's something I think as gamers in general, we should all be asking for. We shouldn't be having to make a decision like on, hey, if I have a PC, if I have an Xbox, if I have a tablet, if I have a phone, like where can I access my game? Like I think you should be able to, hopefully in the future, access your games everywhere. And that's really what they're pushing forward to, right? But yeah, it's a little bit controversial for some people with that. They just want to see a console exclusive. And we want to celebrate the console, and we want to celebrate the console exclusive. And that's what it's all about. Nothing else matters, right? And I get that old kind of mentality as well, but times are changing. Times are changing, and would rather look at my own experience and look at the value I'm getting and celebrate that, as opposed to the special feeling that you would have by gatekeeping something away, right? So we got another super chat that I guess I got to read. Oh my God. Gaming Forte, shout out to Gaming Forte. It says with a $5 super chat, it says, y'all damn near killed Jerry Jones with that effort. It's been 30 years of being 8-8 or 12-4, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Expectations equals crumble. Yeah, usually the Cowboys do better when they have no expectations, and they fail when they have high expectations. So when we go into a season and everybody's like, oh, we're going to suck this year, I'm like, yeah, we're going to be good, And when we're like, everybody's like, hey, we're going to be great, I'm like, this is going to suck. And this is kind of the way it's always gone. But yeah, man, I see y'all talking about Jerry Jones talking about the players' sizes. That's a thing that happened. Jamie Foxx went live at the wrong time. That was very interesting. I also remember Jerry Jones not knowing what glory hole meant. He thought it was still an oil business term, and he said something about glory hole on a press conference as well, talking about how he loves himself some glory hole. That was actually something Jerry Jones said on a live press conference regarding the Cowboys. Somebody mentioned in his ear what glory hole went, and then he just had a nice laugh about it. But anyway, yeah, that's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, everybody. So anyway, overall, Fuzz, like, out of those games coming for the end of the year, which one do you think is going to stand above the rest?
I mean, the Call of Duty, without a doubt, that's going to stand above a lot, just because of the anticipation. It will probably outperform Modern Warfare 2. We'll see how well received, like all the lead up on like the zombies and stuff has been, through the roof type of deal. So I expect that's going to be huge for this next release. Campaign seems like they're, between the Omni movement and the multiplayer and the campaign, I think that's going to help. And just in general, a lot of the stuff that they've put in the multiplayer and the maps and all that, that's going to probably be the big, draw. But Indiana Jones, I think, stands to have its own shine to itself. I mean, it's not going to, outshine Call of Duty, but I think just for the fact that we now have an Indiana Jones game, a modern Indiana Jones game, and it, starts or lands first on, Xbox, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Now, there'll be the naysayers like, oh, I'll just wait 6 months for it to come to PS. That's fine, but I think having that in Game Pass, I think that's going to be huge for the remainder of the year. And then I think for me personally, Stalker 2 is up there.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that it's like an extraction shooter, but solo story kind of, narrative setup where you have a ton of different weapons and weapon types and different rarities that you can find, and just the, unusual creatures that you'll come across in the, what do you call it? The zone. But yeah, I think that's going to be the highlight for me. Still going to play the Call of Duty campaign. Not much of a Call of Duty multiplayer guy, but campaign, looking forward to it, and looking forward to Indiana Jones. And I'm definitely going to be sinking some hours into Flight Sim. I want to see this, getting out the plane and walking around, how detailed, because they've turned the graphics level up a good bit on it. So I'm curious to see what it's like at the local airports here, if I can walk home from the airport kind of thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. For me, it's probably, Call of Duty, probably. Honestly, but we also, I'm really excited for Stalker, but then my mind goes to Flight Sim, right? And then my mind goes to Indiana Jones, and each one if I start thinking about it too much, I'm like, that's the one I'm most excited for, you know? And I think it's just interesting because really, I think the main issue like Xbox has had this year is just like it's so backloaded for 2024, right? Like for first party, at least we had Hellblade 2 earlier in the year, like in May. And maybe this is one of the reasons why they actually pushed Avowed back a little bit. I think it needed more time. I think the whole, hey, we have too many things, we're gonna move it, is a little bit of a cop out. But moving it into next year is going to hopefully create more of an even balance for big releases to where you have that kind of maybe one actually per quarter type thing going next year. So Quark, we got those 4 games coming. Out of those, which one do you think you're looking forward to most? And do you think About is maybe going to set things up for them to have a more spaced out 2025?
Yeah, I think they're going to try and hit the ground running hard with Avowed 2025. I think it's fair to say, one of the biggest risks of Game Pass is cannibalization of your own games, and I think there is some truth there on why they wanted to kind of push stuff back. I think more than likely too, it was a better reason because they want a little bit more, optimization.
Yeah.
To get the game in a better state. I mean, people make a big deal out of, no 60 frames per second, but I mean, I've said this before. If you've watched me on any of these podcasts, it's a number that casual gamers don't really care, and that's the biggest market. Once casual gamers start prioritizing 60 frames per second, you'll see a lot more devs doing the same. It's an ideal goal to get consoles there, and they can do it. We've seen it with so many other games. I mean, even though Fortnite isn't really the most graphically impressive, it can hit 120 frames per second on consoles and stuff like that. It's I don't know, I think it's definitely warranted that it's for more optimization for Avowed. But if I had to pick 4 games, for me, I'm most excited about Indiana Jones. I dressed up as Indiana Jones as a kid like 3 years in a row for Halloween, so I'm most excited, but it's more than likely going to be Call of Duty. I played the beta. I know you played the beta. The Omni movement feels, it just feels so fluid, so fast paced. It's that Black Ops 6 feeling still, and then the Omni movement just changes the game, dude. I saw people max painting it, or what's that director that has those crazy like jump outs and
John Woo.
Yeah. Somebody flying across the train tracks and spinning back. It was cool. I saw so many great moments, and like I couldn't even be mad. I was like, yeah, that was actually a really cool kill on me. So Call of Duty for sure. For me, my personal though is going to be Indiana Jones, which we should be hearing a lot about pretty soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I think maybe there's people going out to get a chance to play it or something. I don't know what's going on, but it just kind of, I got the feeling that's happening, right? So we'll see maybe some more reports about that. Then that's Machine Games' next big game. I have a lot of faith that game's gonna be solid based on everything that we've seen. I know that a lot of the talk has been about it's going to PlayStation next year, so it doesn't matter. For me, I just focus on my experience, and I get it in Game Pass this year, day and date, and I'm gonna be happy playing it this holiday. And holy shit, we got a choo choo monster here in the fucking chat. Shout out to Spartan661, who is just going crazy, gifting with not just one group of 5 Fun Speculation memberships, not just 2 groups of 5 Fun Speculation memberships, but 3 cars to the Speculator train. Shout out to Spartan661, and all we got to say is
choo choo, ha 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 ha.
Shout out to Spartan661. Appreciate you, and choo choo, motherfuckers. Let's go. Hey, and yeah, I appreciate all the support in the chat. You guys rock. It's fitting with the Indiana Jones conversation too, man. It just happened that way. It was natural. This year, I think is backloaded. We have the best is yet to come here for Xbox for 2024. Not just with Game Pass, but just for big games. Stalker 2 in its own right could end up becoming a massive thing, right? The game's got to come out, still got to deliver, right? But from what we've seen, the latest showings that we've seen for Stalker 2 has been pretty awesome. And that documentary that they put, the war game documentary, was definitely worth a watch in and of itself. So for whatever, I just hope the game is successful for the developers and everything that they've been having going on. But yeah, it's I think that one's going to be pretty massive. And then Spartan's not done. He says, let's add another card to the speculator train with another 5 gifted fun speculation memberships. And just because I love you, Spartan, and I love the support, guess what?
Choo choo! Ha 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 ha!
I appreciate you, bro. I'll never get sick of that. That might be like something that we do for years and years and years. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, shout out to you. Appreciate it, Spartan. So overall, 2024 is still looking bright. Flight Sim, I could spend 100 hours playing and be completely content. I could spend 100. I could spend the rest of the damn year playing Aura History Untold, and I could be completely happy. I'm in the tutorial on turn 477 still. 16 hours in the game.
Yeah.
It is insane. It is insane. But they get absolutely no credit for this game. Obviously, it's not on consoles, it's on PC only. I think it'll eventually come to console. But Age of Mythology Retold as well. So you really kind of do it. Hellblade 2 first party, Aura History Untold first party, Age of Mythology Retold first party, right? Indiana Jones first party, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 first party, Flight Sim first party, and then you have the third party exclusive Game Pass deal with Stalker devs for Stalker 2.
Mhm.
No,
I don't know. That's a
good
pretty
year.
damn good year to me. I don't know.
There's
And
no
that's
games coming still. But there's
That's on
you know?
top of the third party other games that have been going into Game Pass day and date and all these other kind of things as well, man. Like I don't understand hey, this has been such a down year. I don't understand. I'll start paying attention to Xbox once they start delivering games. Hey, it's a preference thing. Let's just be real, right? It's a preference thing on the kinds of games you like to play. I saw IGN had an article that said, and this was one of their articles that was from Push Square, but the headline doesn't show that, right? It just shows up on their main thing, and it was said something like, 2020, PlayStation warned us that it was going to be a light year in 2024, but PlayStation still has the best games, or PS5 still has the best games, or something like that. And it's like, it's just blatant headline like that. And I'm like, isn't that a preference thing, right? Isn't that if reviews are subjective, and just putting this out there, if the most weighted critic on Metacritic that has the biggest influence on scores is putting out there that PS5 has the best games, that should let you know where their thinking is in general when they're going into these, because Xbox has already had several games. And who sets also the critical reception on a lot of these games and affects the Metascore themselves? IGN more than anybody else. So it's a perception thing that has become reality for most people, but it's based on preference of genre and preference on a type of game. It's not about necessarily quality or anything like that, because if that was the case, then they'd be getting credit for some of the other releases that nobody, even many in the Xbox community, has even talked about. Right? Shout out to 3-Bit. What's up, 3-Bit?
Hey man, how's it going?
Not bad. Hey, thanks for being here.
Sorry,
You
I'm
work. No, you're good. You're working. You're doing fancy stuff in the background.
Yeah, I'm doing a signs for a basketball arena. So basically, they have like different advertisements that go around in a basketball arena. Can't say who it's for, but it will be a part of the Bucks Stadium and the Atlanta and here in Georgia.
I can't say who it's for, but it's for the Bucks.
It's for the Bucks. No, I can't say what the ad is.
I got you.
But
Yeah.
But besides that, man, it's good. I honestly just been like, was just working. I was like, oh wait, shoot, I forgot the show today. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty good. I've been in Starfield Land. I think it hit like 2 extra days in my hours in that. It's insane. So I beat the game, and now I'm on my new game plus mode for Starfield. I well, I can't like spoil what happens like once you beat the game, but let's just say like I romance someone really quickly.
That's your style.
Yeah. Looked up tutorials on how to romance this particular character.
How many minutes?
I actually did it like the first time I played the game, like in Andre. How do you say her name?
Andrasia.
Andrasia. It took me, I don't know, like days to romance this character. But the second time I did it, I was like, let me just quickly do it because I want her to be a part of the DLC, because the DLC revolves around her character. So that was like my goal to see like if there's any dialogue options with her being your wife as opposed to like a random person. So I guess we'll see. But but yeah, I mean, dating sims and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like my go-to, but you know, I like those type of games. They're fun. They're fun for me. So it was basically a challenge. Like, how fast can I romance this one character? Like, I bet you I could do it in like 2 hours, and I kind of did.
That's a long time.
Not if you so it should take a long time, but I found my ways.
Romanced her, but yeah, like Jasper says, you don't even know her name.
Yeah, I don't remember, and I just don't know how to like pronounce her name. Like whoever says her name in the game, like they barely say her name. Like Andrasia. Did you tell her that her name was stupid when you were trying to romance her? Yeah, but then I reloaded the save. You know, that's how you.
You're like, what's your name? Andrasia. Oh, this ain't gonna work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
It's like what?
And then you reload the save. You're like, oh, I never said anything.
You worship a serpent god as well? Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah. But I think in the next universe it'll be Sarah. I don't really like Sarah as much, but not a Sarah.
Sarah's bipolar as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You do something. She's like, I didn't like that.
But you don't even know what it was. Like, which is pretty realistic. You know, it's just like you walk into the room and like she's mad. It's like, okay, well, this is really good storytelling because it's pretty damn accurate for real life.
Well, I picked up a vase. Sarah didn't like it. I'm mad at you.
Like, yeah, so I gave up on Sarah.
Let me play the guessing game on what I did wrong over the last couple hours in my mind.
But that's what. Sorry to like sidetrack the show, but that's what I really like about Starfield. Like the different characters have different personalities. Like she and Dre. I'm gonna keep saying this wrong. Andrasia.
Yeah.
Andrasia.
Yeah.
What I like about her character is like she's just like she likes honesty and just kind of like if you're just gonna kill somebody who has killed other people or whatever, she's down for that. Like Sarah's all about like justice, and she's all about like you just being yourself in a way. I don't know, being a little brutal. So she's a little bit more cold-blooded. So it's kind of cool. This stuff like you kind of realize after hours of playing it. But yeah, I mean, I beat the game finally, and now I am going through and just doing a lot of side missions. I finished all the free, like the basically where you're like a space cop. Did all those, and now I'm about to do the DLC. So, anyways, that's what I've been up to. Sorry for derailing, but dude, I love Starfield, so I had to talk about it.
Glad you're here. I mean, Psycho's really the one that's going to derail the show. What's up, Psycho?
Yeah, hey. I was going to say, did you get the finger blast, Andrea?
Whoa!
Oh, I mean,
I didn't.
Is that
did you romance her?
We don't have the same mods that you do, Psycho.
Yeah, those are great mods.
You found those somewhere else.
We literally just wed. So like now I'm
so now you can do.
What are you talking about? That's like second date kind of stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh,
All
I
right.
mean,
Hey,
oh, sorry.
welcome.
Hey, how's it
Hello,
going, everybody?
What did I say? Psycho is going to derail it. Shout out to Psycho. Hey, thanks for being here, man. Did you just get off work?
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
It's been a day.
Okay, right
Yeah.
on, man. Real quick, I want to move on to the next conversation, but I want to get each of y'all's excited game for the rest of the year for Xbox and Game Pass. So we got Black Ops 6 later this month. We have Stalker 2, then we have Flight Sim, and then we have Indiana Jones. I think a very backloaded, obviously 2024. But which one do you think is going to get your most attention, 3-bit?
I guess in my recent feature, probably Stalker 2. Actually,
Okay.
I just watched the documentary like yesterday, and wow, it just makes me really want to play the game.
Yeah.
So immediate future, definitely Stalker 2. I do actually really want to try Flight Sim. I liked it when I was. My goal in Flight Sim is always just to find out where I live and crash into my house. So now I can do that, but also I could do that while I could fly at the rings. I could do actual missions. Like I remember seeing in the trailer they had like water mission. We could drop it on fire. Or they just have different things in there. I want to check out, see what the different missions are. That will keep me playing a little bit longer. But yeah, those are some surprising ones. Obviously, Indiana Jones is at the top for me, but that's a little bit at the end of the year. So I'm just thinking about like an order of what I will play for a while. Obviously, Starfield has a grasp on me right now. So however long it takes for me to beat the DLC, and yeah, that's my immediate future. Stalker 2 is just like I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, I didn't hear what you guys' previous answers was, but that's what I'm kind of looking
Everything, all of it.
all of it.
Shout out to Spartan661 as well, again, for 5 more Fun Speculation memberships. I appreciate you, Spartan, as always. And then we also had Free Bear, I think it was. Let me scroll back up. Yeah, Free Bear hitting us with 5 more Fun Speculation memberships. You guys are absolutely going crazy in the chat. And if you got a membership, hey, have fun with your emojis designed by Kate. They're absolutely amazing and fun. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys and for all the support here on the channel. And this is for you guys again. I just can't stop.
Choo choo! Ha 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 ha!
Now, for sure,
I like how you have the video now.
Yeah, we can all see it. But for all of the support and stuff, I need to have a second one just for shows like this when the chat's going crazy, because like we might get sick of seeing that same line over and over and over again. So I'll hunt for some additional
alternate ones.
Yeah, I'll hunt for some additional clips. But a shout out to you guys, appreciate it. What about you, Psycho? To end the year, I think Xbox has the best yet to come here for the year. People counting their scorecards too early for 2024 with the biggest games for Xbox right around the corner. What's your go-to, you think, for the 4 big ones I just mentioned?
Definitely Stalker 2, of course. That game we've all been waiting for a very, very long time, and it seems and looks amazing, and just can't wait to get into it. Just check out Indiana Jones, see how that plays out. Being first person is a different take on the character and in that genre, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. From what I saw, it seems like it's going to be pretty fluid, and the mechanics and how they're doing things is going to work out well. So excited to play that. And it'd be different, I guess, with the new Flight Sim. Now we get to explore on foot on certain areas, so that definitely brings a different element to just a Flight Sim, what it's always been. So that's definitely going to be something different. And what was the 4th one?
So Indiana Jones, Stalker 2, Black Ops 6, and Flight Sim.
Black Ops 6. Well, it's fucking Call of Duty, dude.
Yeah.
That beta was fucking amazing. So that's just naturally going to be in my rotation regardless. Really fun game with the omnidirectional movement, really changing things up. And I get a lot of people at coming through GameStop that played the beta are fucking excited because of it's like going back to rounds base, going back to prestige. It's like a throwback to what Call of Duty was back in the day, and I think they are giving us the nostalgic and some new stuff. And we'll see how this really goes. And I think it's going to be a really, really big juggernaut that people, no matter how much they're going to shit on it, because that's what they like to do. No one's going to stop this thing, especially in the Call of Duty community. I mean, the fucking thing does numbers, and this is going to be better than the last 3 games that have come out. So
I'm excited for it. It's going to probably be the Call of Duty I've played the most, I think, over the last few years. So I'm pumped, and knowing that it's in Game Pass, there's an extra little effect here that I don't think a lot of people are really considering. Is that there's a lot of people that are just kind of like, I'm done with Call of Duty. I've been done with Call of Duty for years, or just kind of like not interested in it anymore. They always kind of write it off and stuff. But it just being in Game Pass in general is going to get a lot of people that have that mentality just to try it, because there's a lot of Xbox gamers here that I've already seen and heard say, yeah, I'm going to try it. It's in Game Pass. Why not? So, but it's dangerous. Let me tell you guys, if you just say you're going to try Call of Duty, it could end up becoming your main game again for months, right? It just has that power to grab you. And this is going to be the biggest one in a long time as well. So, but yeah, there's more going on with the Xbox world as well. Like today, we actually had news of the former head of Xbox Studios that had been there for 30 years or so, I think, is stepping down, and there is a new replacement. The former head of Rare is taking charge of the Xbox Game Studio side, which includes the traditional Xbox studios that aren't part of ZeniMax Bethesda, not part of ABK, right? And I don't think it's a huge deal. I think it's more just going to be kind of going with the flow of the same kind of things that's been going on. But they did make a little interesting comment talking about investing more in new IP and stuff like that as well, which is an interesting little tidbit that they kind of threw in there. We already have lots of new IP announced, but we have a lot of returning IP because there's an actual roadmap on Xbox with games we look forward to for years. But yeah, former Rare boss now in charge of Xbox Game Studios. Is this a good fit, Quark?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's really done some great things with Rare. Coming into that studio, he has a really crazy long history in the gaming industry. I think he was at Codemasters, Midway. He's done some pretty significant things and understands the gaming industry. Like I said, CFDs is a huge thing that took off. Ground. I think they also helped out a little bit on Grounded as he was like a support or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a great fit. And then Joe Neat is going to be taking over for him at Rare. Another great fit. It'll be interesting to see what he does, especially the little tidbit that you said, focusing on new IPs and things like that. So if anybody can do it, he's an awesome guy. I've met him, I think, once at like a fan fest a long time ago. But everybody that's ever talked to him said he's a really cool dude just to sit down and talk with, chill. And yeah, I can't wait to see what he's going to do with the head of Xbox Studios now.
It's Craig Duncan is his name. I forgot to mention his name, but yeah, it's Craig Duncan.
Yeah, he's really, really, really good dude. Like I said, I can't wait. He's done great things at Rare, so it's only up and hopefully up for him.
Yeah, it was. So before that, it was Hartman. It was his last. Was his name before? Can't remember his first. Alan Hartman. Thank you. Yes. And he's been there for over 30 years now. Matt Booty had ascended into. He's like in charge of all of the studios and the publishing arms and all that kind of stuff. And then underneath him, there's now Craig Duncan, and then you have the person over ABK, and then you have the person over like ZeniMax Bethesda, and then I don't know if they have a separate person that's over the mobile side or as well, or what, or if it was just each of these studios also focuses on mobile within themselves and their arms as well. I'm not sure how that works out, but anyway, you kind of seeing this structure evolve for Xbox ever since the ABK acquisition, and promoting from within from Rare is a good thing, I think. Also, they were responsible for bringing Sea of Thieves and turning it into what it is, right? They also have other IP that they're working on in the background. So I don't know if we'll ever see we'll ever see Everwild. I think eventually it'll show up again at some point. But overall, I think it's probably a pretty good move. Anybody got any thoughts on Craig Duncan and this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that Joe Neate and Jim Horth were the people who now have taken over Rare in his placement. Joe Neate would usually be in the Sea of Thieves, kind of like if you look at the dev videos of dev updates or things like that, and the community seemed to really like him. So cool that he's now kind of stepping into that role alongside Jim Horth, I believe is how you say his name. So like, yeah, I mean, good overall. A lot of people seem to think like he saved Sea of Thieves in a lot of ways. I'm speaking of Craig Duncan now. Saved Sea of Thieves, basically made sure that production on the game kept flowing through from the very beginning. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he takes his mindset of like a couple games like Sea of Thieves, Everwild, some other games that they could be having in production, to now all of Xbox. That's a pretty big difference there in terms of mindset of like of focus. You're thinking about focus, right? When you're working on Sea of Thieves or you're working on something that's like you're working with, let's say 400 or so people to make sure that thing gets done. Now it's a different line of focus where you're focused on multiple studios and making sure that they are on the right track to the success being Xbox as a whole. So it's a different goal, different mindset to have, and I'm hopeful that he can do it. And it's kind of exciting, I'm sure, for him to kind of now be in the chair and be like, okay, what games are what games is Xbox kind of cooking up? When can we kind of release this stuff? And this is the position that Matt Booty used to be in before he got promoted alongside Sarah Bond. So now we'll see how he does. I think he did a great job with Sea of Thieves. That's one game where everyone's like, this game's dead on arrival. And look at it now. If you keep funneling things into a live service game instead of giving up on it, wow, look what can possibly happen. We
should be thankful they didn't give up on it after 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. Of a certain. Yeah.
Is that the bar? Is that the bar for PlayStation?
After 2 weeks, then you win. Yeah.
You
make it 3 weeks, then you win the game.
Yeah. So also we got news today of the partner preview show, like I mentioned earlier, and this is, man, we started this year coming off the heels of the Game Awards, right? Because the Game Awards happened in mid-December, but going into January we had the Dev Direct, right? The Dev Direct was awesome. They did a fantastic job. They even had a surprise with Square Enix being there with Visions of Mana. Which you beat, also Psycho, right? You beat Visions of Mana.
Yeah, so good,
great game. So now, like, the Mana games are just a normal thing to be on Xbox. We got more Mana games. Was Shadow dropped onto Xbox at the TGS? Some Mana games from the past, right? And then we had the Summer Showcase, right? And there might have been actually a in between Summer Showcase and Dev Direct. Was there an indie showcase or something like that in between there? I can't remember for sure.
It was the ID at Xbox.
Yeah, ID.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that. Then we had the summer showcase, which I mean, even Keeley couldn't downplay with his polls how amazing that summer showcase was. I mean, I think he wanted to close the poll after he saw the results in the first like 5 minutes. He was like, "Oh my god, what did I do? I actually gave Xbox some positive reception on accident. How do I shut
Stop the
this down?"
count.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop the count.
So the summer showcase was just like a spectacle and a gaming showcase like many of us have never seen. It was just like insanely good. Following that up with a very strong Gamescom, which they had a lot to show there and showed up in a huge way. Then they had TGS, which I know that TGS isn't for everybody, but for the people that knew what to expect from a TGS, this was by far the best TGS they ever had as well. And then now we also have the partner preview. And then we still have the Game Awards coming back around the corner. So Xbox, again, is not done this year. They actually... the showcase said some of the games we're going to see. One was the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers game that they I think that we saw that at Summer Showcase, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that or was it GDC?
I think a Game Developers Conference.
Was it the one that's in
Gamescom?
Cologne, Germany, whatever that one
Gamescom.
Oh,
No, I think we I don't remember. I think we saw Fallen Feathers at Summer Showcase.
Okay.
I'm not 100%.
Yeah, it was the summer
is.
showcase.
Xbox was there too.
And I think like Fallen Feathers, like just because of how awesome everything else was there, like it kind of like slipped under the radar a little bit, but it was a game that a lot of us were like, oh, that looks really good, actually, you know, especially for the Souls-likey kind of players and stuff out there. And this is something that we're going to see more of actually at the this partner preview. We're also going to see more of the new Yakuza pirate game that they have coming out. Yakuza, there's a new game every year, it seems like, and it's more ridiculous every single year. I don't know what's going on, but awesome franchise. So there's that. Plus, also something else that they said was world premieres.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a 25-minute show. We're going to stream it here on the channel on Thursday. We'll go live a little bit beforehand to get everybody ready, and then we'll have the co-stream for the partner preview show. But yeah, world premieres. I don't know what to expect, like from a third-party show with world premieres.
I have an idea.
Okay, are you going to say Final Fantasy?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm going to say there is a game that is from a company that used to be part of Xbox called Toys for Bob. And we've heard that they have been working on something, and how far along they've been, we don't know yet, but they could very well show that here.
Yeah, that would be technically a partner game now, right? Not necessarily a first party, or like it's weird. Hi-Fi Rush's tech would be technically a partner game too.
Hi-Fi Rush 2, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Kind of.
Here's a game we did have, but now don't. But, hey,
Definitely don't have, but still kind of do have, but not really.
Yeah,
Day one in Game Pass.
we have a relationship.
yeah, we used to have them.
What do you expect, Fuzz?
That's
World
a tough
premieres.
one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like for world premiere, and it's a partnered showcase. Things I would like it to be that something dog studio, not Alpha Dog, because I know that went away or got renamed or whatever, but there was something like Fighting Dog or something like that. Like they were the ones that were doing the Project Shaolin.
Alpha Dog, right?
No, because it wasn't the Bethesda one. It was like a separate group that was doing the Project Shaolin. So I'm hoping we finally get to see that. Even if it doesn't come out until 2025.
The Wu-Tang game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I forget the name of their studio. It's like
it's something dog or something like that.
I thought it was like Black Lion Media or something like that. Because I remember it was similar.
The name of my company.
Okay, so whatever it was similar to the name of your company.
Yeah, it was BLM.
Okay. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah,
I made the game.
BLM, and I was like, hold on, 3-bit.
No, it's not. It's what was it? It was very similar to the name of your company. I'm gonna look it up. Wu-Tang
Alvin says
Clan
Fighting Lion
game.
Fighting,
or
that
Brass
sounds
Lion.
right.
Brass Lion.
Brass
You can say
Lion.
Brass Lion
Yeah.
and Fighting Lion. I don't know which one.
Yeah, I think it's Brass Line. That sounds.
Yeah. See, I told you it was
What
similar.
else
right?
have they made? Yeah, it is kind of. They kind of still.
Brass Lion Entertainment.
Brass Lion. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of. I'll see you guys in court.
It'll be the second time somebody had a name taken from you, like Abandoned. Remember that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Mhm.
That was. I don't even know if I want to name it Abandoned now. Now, when you look up Abandoned, all you see is trash.
I wouldn't.
I call it re-abandoned.
But it was my game first.
You should name it Abandoned 2.
Re-abandoned.
But 2
Re-abandoned.
TOO. Yeah. So you think Wu-Tang Clan game? That'd be an interesting one. That's a good. There was 10 months ago they actually had an update. I was reading a little bit of article here about that.
So I'm hoping it's something along those lines, or worst case scenario, maybe Contraband, since that's, I mean, technically that's a paid IP, so that kind of counts as the new definition of first party, I guess, even though it's made by Avalanche. Maybe Avalanche's Contraband shows up, or IO Interactive. I forget what they called that one, but it was like Project Dragon or something like that. I don't know if that got canceled or if that got resituated, but hopefully one of those project games that we haven't seen anything of, but then again, Contraband doesn't fall into that, but I guess it would be either Project Dragon or Project Shaolin. I hope one of those two makes an appearance.
Yeah, those are good calls, man. What about you, Quirkenstein? You got any world premiere predictions for the partner preview?
I think I wasn't even thinking about it until Psycho said it, but yeah, I think Toys for Bob would be a killer one right there to just, mic drop. Everybody's been wondering what this partnership is coming from them as well. So I think Toys for Bob is one of my big hopes for it now that he brought it up. I think we're also get some Phasmophobia info. We had that big drop that it's coming to consoles from Xbox, but then they had this, was it a flood or something? No, flood was No Man's Sky. They had something that happened that I think hurt their development process, which pushed them back quite a bit for releasing on consoles, because I think it was supposed to come out sometime around now or earlier. But I think we'll hear some Phasmophobia info as well. The Alan Wake 2 Lighthouse expansion that got dropped a few days ago, I think, like a little teaser trailer, so I can't wait to see more from that.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping Toys for Bob now. That's my go-to. Thanks, Psycho.
Yeah,
right on. Good one. What about you, 3-Bit? What you think?
It has to be Square, right?
You think? Yeah, I mean, that would be big, right? That would be big.
Square has repeatedly been crying about, like, oh, our games aren't selling well and we need to do better, and they're not explicitly.
I don't think
saying,
that's what Square sounds like.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Do they have a studio in Austin?
Like, cool. I'm Square Enix and I'm not selling well. No, I don't know. I think it has to be Square Enix, maybe, because we think about like their tease in the show of that smaller show with Tina, by Tina Amini, and with Phil Spencer and Sarah. Basically, I think it was right after the Tokyo Game Show. They went to like what was it, not Eidos. They went to Bandai.
Oh yeah,
the Bandai Namco.
Yeah,
they went to like a couple of different studios. So to me, it's just cementing that they really want those Japanese partnerships. And Square Enix and Bandai are just those last sort of partnerships that they need to solidify a little bit more. And so I feel like they could show up here, because why not? Just to really be like, hey, we're not a part of just being Sony anymore. Look, we're not an Astrobot. Look, look, we didn't do the Astrobot thing. So I don't know. I think Square could definitely be that that person that shows up at this show for sure.
Yeah. It would be crazy. I mean, if you actually got Final Fantasy news at a show like a partner preview show, it would be pretty damn crazy. It would also kind of explode. I think at one of these before, they actually had Metal Gear show up. Is when they revealed the Metal Gear thing for the first time, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Metal Gear's actually at this show for Xbox?" And
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
so that was a thing. So they're not afraid to go bigger with a surprise at a show like this. This would be kind of equivalent to the last state of play that PlayStation had in a way, right? Where PlayStation had mostly third party stuff. They had a couple first party things there, but I think in terms of expectations and the scope of the games that are going to show up, except with the exception of a huge first party game like Ghost of Yotei, like showing up like that, I think you could see the same level for like what we saw for the rest of that kind of show. Like you got some double A's, maybe got some indies, you have a couple of big triple A's from some of your third party partners, and maybe a couple surprises. Right?
It's a different level, right? You have like Sony basically kind of has to do the third party show, and then they're like, oh, but we have some first party. Well, Xbox, you just do a whole first party show and a third party show.
It's the regular state of plays where it's nothing but third party, you know.
Yeah,
and then
like their shows basically became third party with sprinkles of their first party content.
Yes.
As Xbox, where it's like you get a whole cake of first party content and third party content.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good to see that they're fostering their third party relationships a little bit better. Sony has a very good stronghold on the a lot of different publishers, like big publishers. It's like Square, for example. For a while, Sony has had a big stronghold on Square Enix, and I think a lot of the industry is starting to see how either it's not financially feasible or it's like it doesn't really help them. Like if you're a third party publisher and you are just restricted to one platform, it doesn't really grow your ecosystem. If you're a first party, it makes sense, right? To me, I will always believe that it makes sense. If you're a first party publisher and you're promoting your platform, sure. But if you're a third party, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to always work out for you if you're a third party. But I feel like we're starting to see that throughout the industry. I mean, we're even seeing it where Sony wants to start expanding. We're seeing all these different moves where they're like trying to go more PC, and Xbox wants to do everything pretty much. So I feel like that sentiment is going to be felt in just several years. We'll start to see more crazy things like let's make a Final Fantasy on mobile, and let's make this different ecosystems. We'll start to see more of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love it, man. Who knows? Like, I think Square in general, like, has to be seeing Sega and Atlas's as well, like, success right now, and be like, "Damn it, we waited too long to like make that transition. We signed too many exclusive deals." Because you look at what Sega started doing with the Yakuza franchise, and they've been happy as clams with all that, right? Then you got Atlas finally made its way to Xbox, and then you have the Atlas games that the past games, like the Personas and stuff like that. They even had a new game like Persona 5 Tactica going to Game Pass and stuff, and then now you have Metaphor ReFantasio that actually had Xbox marketing, which was weirdly criticized from some in the gaming community, saying that didn't make any sense. How could they do this? Because PlayStation players wouldn't even know that it's coming to PlayStation. But yeah, look at it. Plenty of PlayStation players still knew it was coming. The Xbox players also finally knew that a game like this was coming as well. And it went day and date with also some extra value features with cross-buy and everything like that as well.
One
but
was
also
advertised by Sony and one was advertised by Xbox. Silent Hill 2 and then Metaphor. Which one do you think has more sales?
I had
Metaphor.
100%. Like Metaphor,
Exactly.
but and
I know it's Metaphor.
But also Metaphor is everywhere.
Yep.
Which is
true.
pretty damn awesome, right? So these publishers and developers.
My point of saying that is just like marketing, like Xbox marketing, Sony marketing, like it people can still buy it on Xbox or PlayStation. Like Silent Hill is made to be a Sony exclusive, but Metaphor is selling better than that.
Yeah.
That's just
I mean,
an example.
it's better for PlayStation to sell consoles to have exclusives, right? That's without question.
Mm-hmm.
But is it better for the people making the games, right? And the answer has unequivocally, for the most part, especially with the third-party partners, been no. And the thing that we talked about earlier in this generation, as Xbox was growing, as Game Pass was growing, and as console sales still remain stagnant, kind of within their own bubbles, right? Always kind of achieving the same level of success within their own ecosystems. These publishers are not going to be content with just taking the money from the publisher to gatekeep your game, mainly to give the insurance money up front that, hey, yeah, we're a little bit more comfortable here. We're going to get your marketing. It's going to be sold with your console. It's going to be sold with your platform. That's going to be awesome. But it's not working because we're not getting the sales, right? We're not getting the sales. And eventually, we said this early on in this channel, eventually, this generation, what are you going to see? You're going to see some of these companies starting to want to take either the Xbox money for marketing or Game Pass deals because it makes more sense for them as a publisher. It doesn't make sense for them to put your game somewhere else for really not the amount of money they get is not really worth it at the end of the day for the amount of sales that they lose, right? So they take money, and that's the Sony offer usually. That's the Sony offer. That's what they're competing against. It's like, okay, so we go Xbox, we still put our games everywhere, right? We do some kind of extra value for the consumer, either put it on with cross-buy, or maybe we do Game Pass for the Xbox customers for a while. We take that money there. We're ensuring tons of eyes, but guess what? We can still sell our game over there, and we can still sell our game over here, right? And that seems to be making the most sense, and that's what Sega had realized. Square also realized it when they ousted their former president and put the new person in charge. That's like, hey, we got to start doing things differently, right? Because our games aren't selling as well as they should. Where we were putting years and years and millions and millions and millions of dollars here to sell to one platform that is not being adopted.
They blamed everything but exclusives. They're like, oh, let's get rid of our Eastern market and we need to start investing in NFTs and like everything.
They blamed their Western games that were everywhere and that were selling way more than the Eastern games because they weren't selling enough to over support them, right? As much so to actually get rid of their Eastern developers, their Western developers for pennies on the dollar. Yeah. It was just absolutely crazy. I think that overall, Square is now on the whole Xbox train, just like Sega was, right? Then Sega eventually got Atlas on board because Atlas is owned by Sega. And Capcom's also on board. Capcom's still doing a little bit of everything, but you see new IPs a couple times this generation. Capcom said, okay, we're going to try X.
Wasn't that one game? Game Pass?
There's the dinosaur robot game. What was it called?
I'm thinking of the one where it's like a
Primal or something.
Exo Primal. The game didn't do that well, but also Kinetsugami Path of the Goddess. The new IPs they're doing. Those games are still everywhere, right? But they are making them available and taking that money as opposed to saying, "Hey, this is just going to be a console exclusive," you know. So I think Square's learned, and you're going to see more different things. I think they're still going to have some marketing or partnership deals here and there with different companies, obviously, but like overall, they're big franchises. They're big things that they've been investing in. The big things that they need to hit. They're not going to be exclusive anywhere. Not anymore. The only ones we will see are the ones that are already locked from some kind of deal, right? Possibly the whatever Part 3 is for Final Fantasy VII. If there is a Final Fantasy Tactics actually still in development, if that one had been one of the ones that had been already signed up, like Ogre Tactics was as well, maybe that one.
I think the Pixel remaster is selling pretty well on Xbox as an indicator. Like, they're gonna start this not really doing those deals anymore.
Yeah, even those are selling well. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy. Square sees the money, man. That's what it's all about for these companies, right? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. As far as me, I'm gonna throw my hat in the replaced ring. Crossing my fingers, we see replaced.
Yeah,
but wasn't that pushed to next year
for release?
For 2025. Yeah,
but it could be early next year.
Oh, okay.
right? And if it is early next year, and maybe this would be a place to show it again, right?
Right.
So I'll throw my hat in that ring. But also, I forget who it was in the chat, but I'm going to piggyback. Maybe it was Alvin. The Sega old school franchises they're all bringing back. We saw that one sizzle reel trailer for this new
like Crazy
initiative.
Taxi and stuff.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, tons of these different franchises they're kind of bringing back in a new way. It would be interesting to see that again because it's been like a year and a half, 2 years, I think, since we've seen that.
Yeah,
maybe it hasn't been that long. I don't know, but
wait, when did they show it last? I remember seeing that. Was that just at a?
I think it was at a partner preview show or something, possibly.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to.
Well, it could have been at Gamescom last year, maybe last Gamescom.
Yeah, maybe it was Gamescom. Yeah,
I can't remember when it was. It was you, Print. Shout out to Print Screen. Yeah, it was you. I'm stealing your idea. I love that idea too. You look at all these different publishers have different marketing deals and stuff. Also, we haven't seen like something from Bandai Namco recently show up with Xbox, which they've done several different things. So maybe something from them.
They did show up to their studio, so it would make sense. Like while Phil was at the studio, it'd be like, "Hey, can we slide something in there?" Yeah.
How about Soul Calibur come back? I'll just throw it out there just to put it out there into the ether to try and will it into existence, right?
This is the one thing I hope they do a little console exclusive thing for, or just kind of bring that back. It was cool to see. You buy like the Xbox version, you get like Spawn. You buy the Nintendo version, you get like Link. I always thought that was really cool. Then eventually maybe sell it to everybody. But anyway, sorry, Psycho.
If we're gonna throw fucking games out there, I would love to see a Skies of Arcadia either remastered or
bring it back,
or a sequel, because I love that game on the Dreamcast. And if we're gonna stick with the Dreamcast, I would love to see like a Shining Force. I would love to see Dragon Force coming back. Sega has so many IPs that they're just sitting on. It's like, come on, guys. I know Atlas is, cooking right now. Why don't you guys start cooking with some of your RPGs that you had, like Shining Force and Dragon Force? Let's bring those back. I mean, even it was fun. It was fun. I liked it. They brought the sequel, not sequel. Well, it is a sequel, but the one with the internet connection for the Dreamcast. You can play with your buddies. It was shiny. It was a Phantasy Star. Yeah, Phantasy Star.
Oh yeah.
So they have Phantasy Star online on Xbox now. The new one.
Instead of the MMO Phantasy Star, go back to the original RPG Phantasy Star, just straight Phantasy Star.
Didn't they?
No RPG or MMO.
Didn't they recently have a bunch of just random old games just come up recently? I mean, we were talking about it in our DMs, like this old Star Wars game out of nowhere.
There's been some. Yeah, those are the Brett Binghams. So shout out to Brett Binghams in the chat, like always like giving us hints about, hey, some stuff's going to get announced this week or whatever, and it's like remasters or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then it's like that Star Wars game that's like the
so random. Like who asked for that game?
It's like that one. Like, okay.
I mean, I played that game as a kid, so I'm down. But that's like,
and then it was Tomb Raider, the second trilogy or whatever. The second group of 3 for Tomb Raider was the second game that was announced last week.
I thought they already did.
They did 1, 2, and 3, but there's gonna be 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Samurai Showdown would be great.
Yeah, I love seeing all the name dropping of classic franchises in the chat. Roberto Z says Afterburner and Area 51. Yeah. How about Virtua Fighter?
There's supposedly something in the works. They mentioned that Evo like 2 Evos ago, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you never know at a partner preview because it's third-party companies. Everything could show up, but I'm going to throw my hat in the ring on another one. How about Arc Raiders showing back up?
That's one. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like that should be here. It's like it got pushed back a little bit, but I think it's at a good state to be shown again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Their last game, what was it called? The free to play shooter.
Finals.
That's the finals. Is that still doing good? Because that's a good game.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
doing
like
okay. It's not
people
as
are-
high up as it once was, but you know,
There's so much
Apex
competition.
keeps on going up and down as well. Yeah, it's going to be a tough spot, but it's holding tight as far as I think in the top 4 or 5. Of
whenever
those
they have a new
games, so-
season, it like goes up for a little bit. People play it, and then then it kind of dies down a little bit. But
That's just the way it is for most of these franchises.
yeah,
I was gonna say there's 2 big games that we missed: 33 Immortals and Towerborn.
Yeah,
Those could also both show up.
Is there a chance we could see that Obscura game again? The other turn-based JRPGs that's from France.
what is it?
Obscura
Something-
33 or something. Yeah,
That would be awesome.
that one
I
got a lot of
learned.
hype.
Someone mentioned Nobay mentioned Arc 2. Yeah, actually Arc 2 should I feel like that should be a guarantee. Like that should be here. Towerborn, I don't want to see Towerborn.
I bet we see something from Pal World again here too. Another update trailer or something.
Yeah,
That's right. They did show Arc 2 on the last year. I think the last October showcase. It was Arc 2. I think they showed some stuff from it.
Will
Yeah, so
Vin
that should be
Diesel be in the new Arc 2 trailer? That's the
You
question.
probably
we
be on the
should probably
stage. You probably be up on the stage. Time to play Arc 2 family.
You owe me a 10-second car. Arc 2.
We're not taking cars this time. We're taking dinosaurs.
We're taking pink slips for games.
Going back in time. I don't even know how Vin Diesel. I can't even say.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Vin Diesel's hard to do.
Yeah, he's hard.
You know what game would probably break the internet? Being that it would be a partner showcase.
What?
One that a lot of people said Xbox will never get the marketing for. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, yeah, that would be a summer showcase thing, though. Buzz. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Like, yeah,
trailer number 2, possibly. Let's see.
That would be crazy. Like you have all these rumors about it being on PlayStation, and then people said that about Metal Gear. Like Metal Gear has the marketing rights for Sony and all this different stuff, and it shows up at an Xbox showcase.
Yeah, we started here with expectations of the partner preview show, and Fuzzy just like went like, we're getting Grand Theft Auto 6 marketing with Xbox showing up at the Xbox partner preview show. If it doesn't show up, it's a fail for Xbox. It's a disappointment. Gonna throw away my Xbox Series X. We don't see great partner preview show.
No, that would be funny. Like if it's there, there would be more people upset about it being there than there would be people excited about the game in general or just seeing the second trailer.
Yeah,
why is it here?
It's a monopoly. They shouldn't have the marketing.
I would just be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, this is weird. Am I?
It is one of those games where
this is not real, you know. It's interesting to think about what could be at a show like this, because really there's no expectations. I don't think like any of the big things are probably going to happen. I think this is more so like that. Hey, this is a show for some of the things we didn't have time for, some of the other shows that we had, but we want to make sure we highlight these third-party partners that we have marketing rights with, we have deals with, Game Pass deals. I would imagine there's probably going to be a couple of Game Pass announcements in this thing as well. And there could even be something surprise like we didn't even know was coming out this year that's like announced for later this year or something like that too. That wouldn't surprise me. They've done that plenty of times. So overall, I think it's something to look forward to. And even if it's just like some smaller indie games, a couple AA games, and it's just that's it. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I think it's going to be a fun watch for their 6th show of the year. Because if they do have something big, right, they'll probably save it for the Game Awards as well, like they did with Blade last year, right? Like if they have another huge crazy thing to announce or something like that, it'll probably be at the Game Awards. So, man, fun conversations though, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of hoping the Square Enix is just to shit in Keely's Cheerios, just to really piss him off. Just announce Final Fantasy, just right there, just to
With
piss
the
him
Xbox.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, for Xbox.
You just make him say Xbox with Final Fantasy or something.
Yeah, you'd be like Final Fantasy with Xbox.
With Xbox.
We didn't sell Square Enix to Xbox, but we did sell Final Fantasy to Xbox. So Final Fantasy is now owned by Xbox.
Don't worry, Xbox 10 times.
Yeah.
Just really give it to him.
Okay. So how about Ubisoft?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to get some excitement. Their name's been dragged through the mud. They're in the shitter right now. They got lots of problems. And maybe they could throw them a bone with some kind of thing here. They have marketing on some of their games too. So maybe something from Ubisoft could show up here.
Splinter Cell.
That would be.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What if it's the Blacklist remaster? Even that was hinted at by like Tom Henderson.
I'll be excited
Anything.
reluctantly. Yeah.
Anything Splinter Cell at this point. Just
Yeah. Just give me a Splinter Cell at this point. It's Buzz in the chat mentions Project 007, the IO Bond game. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So props to you, Buzz. I completely forgot about that. That could be cool.
I forget which one of those was to expect first. Project Dragon from IO or the Bond game? I think maybe the Bond game would be.
The Bond one has a trailer, at least. Right?
I mean,
it had a trailer. Or teaser.
I mean, it had a da-da.
Yeah.
Did someone shoot? Did someone shoot?
I think just the pointed at the screen and the silhouette and shot.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see. I feel like that one first though. Just because they gave it more of an effort.
I know it kind of got put out there. I don't remember. There was also Certain Affinity has a couple of things they're doing with Xbox. So you could see something from them. Not Halo, because that would be not partner. That would be Xbox. But it would be.
It would wait for that.
It would be the Buena Suerte, like Monster Hunter type game potentially, or something like that they're supposedly making. If that's still a thing, as well. Lots of possibilities, guys. Lots of possibilities. Any final thoughts, Psycho?
Games that we could see.
Just throw me one thing out there you just would die for.
Bully 2. That's what he wants to say.
Yeah. No. No, man. I mean, really, like trying to be like more realistic.
Yeah.
God, a Splinter Cell would be really great. Just to get people like, because we've already, the rumors that it's fucking canceled, it's dead, and then boom, it shows up like, oh, it's not. Here it is. That would be fantastic. Because Ubisoft kind of needs a little bit of a resurrection, a little bit, not to lie, because right now they're not doing so hot with just the certain things that have been going on, and how the Guillermo family is ruining Ubisoft because he's looking for Fortnite bucks. But whatever.
Yeah.
Silk Song. I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Silk
That
Song.
song's a good one.
I think we've just all given up hope that it's going to be this year or something. So nobody thinks about it anymore. But Silk Song would be a pretty big drop.
Yeah, that could be really cool.
All right.
Never mind. Go ahead. Let's go.
Well, everybody, we have one last segment here for Fun Speculation Podcast. This is something we do every week where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week. And it is called... All right, everybody, this is Tidbits. Thanks to Fuzzy for sending the list every week. And we got a pretty decent week, I think. Nothing like last week, which was maybe one of the best weeks of the year for gaming. Let's take a look at what we got.
You were only
New
Turn
World.
'em
This game is
an
still
action
alive?
combat game with
Yep,
deep
they
RPG
brought it back.
systems in a
Oh.
massive
New
supernatural
World.
And it launches on Xbox Series
Itineum?
X and Series
I played
S
the beta
October 15th.
during whatever weekend that was.
Wait,
I
what?
actually liked it.
We've been able to deliver
Wait,
beautiful next generation visuals with
this is
option
the
to run game at a
developers
locked 60
from Amazon,
FPS
right?
in
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
or
And
4K
are they
resolution
partnering with like
enhanced
Xbox,
visuals at 30
explaining
FPS
how
quality.
good it's gonna
You'll
work on an
experience
Xbox?
near instant load
No, but
times,
I found this
multi-platform
video and it
matchmaking
was
across
about
all of New World's
probably one of the
various
better
modes
ones
and
that was
fully
under
optimized
3
controller
minutes
support.
with some gameplay.
New World
But
with
this
a
is coming to
controller might be the
PS5,
best way to
Series X and
experience
S,
the
We
and
can't wait for
PC
you to play it
for
yourself, and we're looking
$59.99.
forward to welcoming you to a
Okay.
tournament on
Yeah, I just
October
find
Tuesday.
that's
Tuesday.
interesting just because, you know, for a while Xbox was like Amazon and Google are enemies in a way, but now they're like right here.
Oh yeah, I mean the Tomb Raider game. Amazon's a third-party publisher now. I mean,
Yeah.
going big.
That's cool.
with it.
That's cool.
Now this
Oh,
is almost like
boy.
a double feature. Just
This is
Dance
copyright central.
Yeah, I might want to mute it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
2025 edition for PS5, Series X and S, and Switch coming this Tuesday for $49.99. And then right after this video is the VR version that's exclusively coming to MetaQuest 2, 3, and Pro.
No PSVR 2.
Now,
Wow. What a shame. Are you gonna play this with Izzy 3-bit?
Maybe. I
Yeah?
should play the. I worked on.
Let's be honest here. Who's played it? Who's
Year-
played Just Dance before?
Yeah.
Not me.
I've played
played
it
before.
Just Dance before.
Yeah, I've played it before. But I
didn't
haven't
have
played it in a
controls,
minute.
though.
I liked it when it was in the Kinect. Like, does it still work with the Kinect?
I don't. Maybe
Not
those
new
ones.
so
I have no idea. Yeah, I'd be interested.
now
Why
this is the VR version.
Okay. Wow, I'm in another world dancing.
Wait, did that say Wii?
No.
No.
Was I seeing things?
Yes.
Okay.
Want to dance? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's put on our headsets and
All
dance
night long.
All night long.
I'm surprised they
night.
didn't show the new MetaQuest
night.
3S. Their new price point leader at 300 for the latest one.
Oh, the
Yeah.
MetaQuest 3S or whatever it is. The
Yeah.
Are
it's
you a
cheaper
VR guy,
entry.
Corkenstein?
Yeah, I have a MetaQuest 2. I really need to pull it out. I moved during the time I got it, so
What are
I
you
played
pulling
for a
out?
little bit, and then I got to bring it back. Got to bring it back out.
You gonna get Just Dance for VR?
Maybe I maybe gotta shake. Bring all the milkshake to the boys to the yard. What is it?
But your milkshake brings the boys to the yard.
The yard, yeah.
Yeah.
And zip, 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 zip.
All right, this next one is Neva coming to PS5, Series X and
great.
S, Switch, and PC this Tuesday for $19.99.
All right, this is gonna be a game of the year. Every single game is gone. Astrobot gone. Dragon's Dogma gone. What else is up there? Everything gone. This is the new game of the year.
Is it?
I don't know. We'll see.
I know.
It looks great. It looks great.
I love.
You look at it, it's
style,
like
yeah.
it's like okay, real. I loved Gris. That's my point. I really like Gris.
Yeah.
Like the art style in Gris was like incredible. So I'm looking forward to playing this.
So this would be like a little indie darling kind of game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you need that indie game somewhere
Mhm.
at the award show. So
It looks good, man. Like the combat looks pretty solid and stuff.
yeah, Gris was great. So I'm looking forward to this one. Dang, I forgot about this game. This completely missed my radar.
How much is this again, Fuzz?
$19.99.
Oh, not bad.
Nice.
And coming everywhere?
Yes, for PS5, Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
Right on.
Nice.
I'm getting a little bit of like with the art and the like with the way the characters are interacting, a little bit of Ori vibes.
Yeah.
I
For
kind
sure.
of look at it as Everwild 2D side scroller. of
Right.
Everwild.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Nico Derico. This is a platformer that's kind of like taking from a bunch of different platformers and kind of putting them. You'll see like a little bit of Donkey Kong. You'll see some like Crash in here and stuff like that. That's like Mario a little bit. A
Yeah,
bunch
is
of
this
different
co-op?
genres or types of platformers. I don't know if it's co-op or not. It looks like it could
looks
be
like
because
it's
there's
co-op.
2 characters with the hearts up there.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, it might be. Yeah.
Oh, look, it looks like Astrobot. Yeah, I
Nice.
think every time I see a clip from Astrobot, like I'm sure it's a great game, but it reminds me of Fall Guys.
Yeah.
So the way you go through the levels and just like the obstacles and stuff. It's not as saying it's a bad thing. It just the clip sometimes.
It's like
Looks
a
like that.
light Dark Souls platform.
Right.
In-
Oh, I didn't
in
even turn
certain levels.
the audio back on.
Certain levels.
Damn it.
Nickelodeon, the Magic World.
Nico Derico.
It just reminded me.
Yeah, for $29.99. Now this one I'm definitely picking up. It's finally coming to console. I think it's already on PC at this point. Coming to PS5, Series X and S this Tuesday for $17.99 on Xbox because there's a pre-order sale. I think it might be $19.99 everywhere.
Pong keeps talking about this one because he has some kind of a weird love affair with rodents. Every time we have like a mouse game or a squirrel game or something, he's like, I'm all in on this one. Like you can see, like his smile gets huge. Yeah, but he says that this is awesome. So, and just dumb fun.
This
Think of Conqueror with guns.
This is awesome though. Oh, you got a squirrel with a football?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks really fun. Like, I would definitely play this. Maximum. They're kind of trash, but I'll still try it.
This is called trash.
Right.
Maximum, yeah.
This next one is Crow Country, coming to PS4 and Switch this Wednesday for $19.99.
Pretty cool art style.
Yeah, it's like PS1 vibes.
This is Silent Hill 3 remake.
Oh man, this looks pretty cool. What was the consoles for this, Fuzz?
Just PS4 and Switch.
Oh, what the heck? Okay. No PS5.
PS4 still getting them exclusives.
Yeah.
They're not going to put this one on their exclusive scorecard.
Gotta pick and choose, man. Pick and choose. Crow Country. Okay.
Brandon Martin says this game is awesome. It does look really good.
Yeah, it looks really unique. I dig that.
Quiet
This next
Place.
one, yep, A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, coming to PS5, Series X, Series S, and PC for $29.99.
I'm starting to remember that it's October as we're watching these trailers, right? You get the horror games kind of dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one will utilize your mic. So if you makes any noise through your mic or anything, you can turn it off, obviously. But yeah, if you make any noise on your mic, whether it's you breathing heavy or somebody drops something behind you or a dishwasher runs,
fuck.
pick it up.
Yeah, Psycho. It's Psycho. You're screwed. You got to turn your mic off because it's like.
I got the fat guy breathing going on.
Yeah. Then
Yeah,
when
my
we don't
fan
hear it, we ask if you're okay if you forgot to start breathing again.
Yeah. That's a
In
thing.
that game.
All right, this one's coming to Game Pass as well, but it's Mech Warrior 5 Clans coming out Thursday for $49.99 for the
Yeah,
standard edition.
And Game Pass also.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to rag on the trailers this week. Like, pretty good logos, pretty good trailer presentation. Not bad.
How is that possible?
Yeah, it's kind of left field for Game Pass announcement.
Yep.
See, they're using MetaHuman here for the faces. Nice.
they bring their never
Things a dev says.
Yeah. My devness.
It's time for us to move on. What are the other plans? Are we go for
great.
invasion? Now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into this.
We begin the first stage of Operation Revival by laying claim to the
Yeah, this one looks kind of good.
No more tricks. No more lies. No more holes.
The thing is, like, I haven't played a mech game in a minute. The one I actually
belong
really
to
want to
Smoke
try
Jackie
out
right
is
now.
Armored Core, and then maybe I'll try this one.
Welcome to the 360.
I like more of the
graphics
slow-paced
look
mech
great.
games. Like my favorite mech game was Chrome Hounds.
Kill
anyone who stands in your way.
Look at that production quality.
And
on the
Mech
cutscenes.
and Mech Assault.
Mech Assault is my
Fire
favorite.
everything.
Real mech warriors should be combat ready the
Xbox
second they
needs,
get out.
Phil Spencer needs to get
This world
that
has been
IP
pacified. Prepare to rejoin the
back
Armada.
before he
Ready
leaves.
yourselves. The true
Yeah.
invasion of the inner sphere begins
Who's making this?
now.
One day you two will
The
have
Mech
to step
Warrior
up and
devs.
decide what kind of future you're willing to fight for,
I don't know their
no
name.
matter who stands in your way.
What say you, Star Commander?
Make a race to look over your glorious rise, King Jaden.
We could use skilled pilots in the fight ahead.
Mech Warrior 5 Plane.
What are we waiting for?
I was gonna say, this is a pretty long trailer, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we were made for this. Piranha Enad Global 7.
All right, this next one is Super Mario Party Jamboree coming to Switch this Thursday for
Mario Party
$59.99.
series takes place on an enormous island resort. Get ready to jump into the biggest selection of Mario Party minigames yet in Super Mario Party Jamboree. First, let's see some
Jamboree.
of the new boards where you'll compete
I'll
to
play
collect
this.
the most stars. Take the
Why
escalators
not?
to travel between floors in Rainbow Galleria.
It's a Mario Party Mall.
Use in-game coins to get a star at half price when they're on flash sale. But act fast.
This and Monopoly are the
Ride
games that
around
can
and
ruin
stay
your
on
friendship.
track in
So
Roll'em
you have to
Raceway.
read.
With the new turbo
Like, oh,
dice
I'm almost
item,
at the
you can
end,
move
and then
up
you
to
do like a
40
weird
spaces with a lucky
roll. You just
Here on
screw
Goomba
somebody
Lagoon,
over. It's one
the
of those
ebb and
games.
flow of the tide can change your path. And things really get mixed up when the volcano blows its top. Along with 5 new game boards, 2 boards from
Mega
previous
Wiggler's
Mario
Tree
games
Party?
make
Did
their
I-
return.
Interesting.
Some mini games are action-packed challenges, speed
Hey,
trials,
guys.
a battle of
Hey
wits,
everybody, my name's
and
Mega
more.
Wiggler. You want to come to
and
my
some are
tree
controlled by
party?
gently shaking or tilting your Joy-Con controllers. With over 110 mini games, there's a wide variety to enjoy. Also, up to 20 players can go head-to-head online in the Coupathlon mode. Compete against your rivals and aim for first place.
I'm not gonna
Try
lie,
your best to
it'll
come
take
out on top.
a lot for me to repay for Nintendo Online.
Wait, there are even more new modes? The biggest Mario Party yet will soon be underway when the Super Mario
So
Party
unless
Jamboree
everybody
game
in
launches on the
in
Nintendo Switch
FSP
system
says
on
I'm
October
getting this
17th.
game, I don't know. I'm probably not.
Yeah.
If Matt was like, "Yeah, that's my game," and then Psycho's like, "Yeah," then Cork is like, "Yeah, that's my game too," then I'll get that game.
Hi again, guys. April O'Neil here, and I have some
Teenage
exciting
Mutant Ninja
news to share
Turtles
today.
Mutants Unleashed.
Ninja Turtles are
The
out saving
PS4,
the city
PS5,
yet again.
Xbox One, Series X and
I don't know if
S,
you guys
Switch and
noticed,
PC
but there are
this
a
Friday
lot
for
of new faces around.
$39.99.
Mutant faces. And
Yeah, I think this is one of the Game Mill games.
so it's up to the turtles to do
I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan of that publisher. Maybe this isn't.
has their own
I don't know.
unique way of dealing with
All I know is I had to find
But
the one not on the video not on Xbox's channel because
if you ask me,
if it's rated for kids, then you can't
or some
add it to a
strange
playlist.
Well, that's a weird rule.
Hopefully the turtles
Yeah.
can find out what's
I was
really
like,
going
wait,
on.
what?
They sure have a bunch
So
of friends to
PlayStation
help
had the
them
same
now.
exact video and didn't rate it for kids. So.
Not? And who's to say our turtle team
We have all the
can't have you
M-rated
fix
turtle
themselves?
stuff in the PlayStation
Or
trailer.
even make new friends from all across this famously friendly city.
Is this 4-player? It looks like it's 2.
What do you guys think? Was that okay?
Okay, this one is not Game Mill. Maybe it'll be good.
Everyone 10 and up.
Interesting.
The turtles just look weird to me. That's all.
Yeah, they're kind of like the new design from like the newer movie.
The movie,
Yeah.
Not a bad movie, but they made the bad guys like good, which is bad.
What is this?
Right, this one is Unknown 9 Awakening, coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC this Friday for $49.99.
Maybe this one will show up at the partner show.
What kind of Assassin's Creed House of Rune thing is this?
We've seen this before with Xbox. That's something I think.
Yeah, I think this one's coming to Game Pass as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Endure the vanity of the nine.
Remember when we were talking about the ID at Xbox? I think this was one of the ones that was shown.
Yeah. I remember seeing this at an Xbox thing.
Cool. Oh, they got some. Hey, what's
That's right. It's like got some like tactics stuff going on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can jump into or control the bodies of your enemies for a brief moment.
You've been here before, countless times, and so shall you be here again. In fact, you're here right now.
Emmett says this was at last year's partner preview show.
It could go either way. It could be pretty good or okay.
I co-stream all these shows. It's just like they all blend together at the end. You know what I mean? Like, hey, now we're gonna watch Xbox 2 podcast, everybody. Shout out to them, yeah, for sure. Well, hey, this is a pretty good week. I mean, it's not like last week where you had like just monster games, right? But there was some quite a good selection and good variety going there for this week.
Didn't get to rag on any trailers because they were all pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed most of them.
Well, this was a fun show. Like I said, everybody, we'll be this. So just so happens, anytime Xbox or any kind of show, anytime anybody does anything, it seems like it's on a Thursday, the day of PM and the PM. So I'll get to co-stream this, and then later in the day, Pong and I will be able to kind of break down everything we saw at the partner preview and any other kind of news that happens this week as well. And yeah, looking forward to that. We'll maybe have some more game streams coming up in the next couple days as well. But hey, Korkenstein, thanks for being here today and gracing us with your presence for the first time on this channel. I hope you had a good time, and make sure you let everybody know where they can check out your stuff. And I also got your information in the description below as well.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, man, it's awesome. Like always, you guys have such awesome communities, community members here that are just chatting. Everyone in the chat was great. Everybody here on the panel, thank you again. First time with 3-Bit and Psychonauts. And yeah, it's just been absolutely awesome. You guys were great. For me, you can find me on X or Twitter at the Korkenstein tag. And then I do have some good news. We are bringing back Game Pass Gumbo. So we are bringing that back October 26th, the day after Call of Duty, which we'll be discussing Call of Duty. And we'll be eating some MREs live on air and just talking about, Call of Duty and military life and food and things like that kind of associate with it. So check us out. I'll have a more solid time frame probably coming up in the next week or so. But yeah, and that's pretty much it for me. Just Game Pass Gumbo and the Korkenstein on Twitter.
Right on, man. Gotta have you back sometime whenever you're free as well, dude. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Fuzzy Belvedere, where can everybody find you, sir?
Oh, this was an awesome show. So glad we had Korkenstein on here tonight. Love doing podcasts with him on Boom shows on Fridays and sometimes on Mondays as well. Always love doing podcasts with Psychonauts and 3-Bit and UMAV. This was awesome, and a lot of awesome games right around the corner. So yeah, get those backlogs cleared out, people, because it's just going to keep piling on. But for those that want to hear my rambles and rants, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere, and then find me on other podcasts like Breakfast with Boom Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday. Fright Night with Ferocious Fee, my wife. For those that have a horror side to them, whether it's games or movies. And then later that night, Xbox Ultimate, 9 p.m. new time frame, Eastern Standard Time, Friday night. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks again.
Yeah, I screwed up your whole outros thing. You got to change the number on your outros when you do Xbox Ultimate and FSP now. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Psychonauts, thanks for hopping in. I know you got off work late, so anytime you hop in, dude, I appreciate you being here. But tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
It was a pleasure. It was awesome to have you on, Corkenstein. And 3-Bit, it's always good to see you, brother. I know you are busy being married and doing things behind the scenes that we can't talk about. But it's fantastic. Guys, you can find me on social media everywhere, Psychonauts8. Always here Mondays on FSP at 9 o'clock. And then and then Xbox Ultimate on and I think I'll be able to make it because I think he's not having me fucking close, so yay. And
all right,
you see me there at 9 o'clock on Friday for Xbox Ultimate, and
right
we'll
on, man.
Definitely be talking about whatever is shown Thursday.
Yes, hopefully some cool stuff, man. Thanks for being here as well. And the one and only 3-Bit, if there's anything bad happening in your world, this man is the one to blame. 3-Bit. Tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, great show. Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bits, where I just post randomness of things I'm going. I'm about to do probably like a Starfield spam. So if you don't want to be spammed by Starfield, then probably don't follow me. But
be careful. Positive Starfield conversation and talk is one of the taboo things on social media.
Oh yeah. I remember I posted Starfield stuff before, and then people are like, "How are you enjoying this game? This game is trash," and all this stuff.
You're a bad person because you like Starfield.
Exactly. Like, how dare you? So that's in the future. If you guys like all the conversations, a lot of Mav sometimes jumps on. Me and Fuzzy co-host it. We do Pixelated Echoes every Sunday, and then I'm on this show every Monday. I almost missed this show because I was like working. I was like, oh shoot, I got a show. Almost missed the show, but I'm glad I didn't because I got to be with my brothers here. And Court never did a stream with him, so good to be on the show with you, my dude. Psycho, glad to hear you survived the crazy stuff that was happening, the storms and all that. Glad to see you're okay, brother. All that stuff. Everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. I see you guys every show. Appreciate you all. And Mav, get us on out of here, brother.
Yeah, man.
Where can people find you?
Hey, shout out to all the audio listeners as well. Hey, reviews help us greatly on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. You can find our content and our shows there. But also everybody here hanging out in the chat. Thank you for the immense support you show, as well as Kate's been working on the behind the scenes, and we got some other cool stuff coming as well. So keep an eye out for some of that. But you guys rock, and we'll see you some game streams probably tomorrow and Wednesday. For some different games I've been wanting to get to. And then also, like I said, PM in the PM is on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But before that, we'll be co-streaming the partner preview show 30 minutes before it goes live. So our coverage and pre-show coverage will actually be longer than the partner preview show itself. So look forward to that. And then we'll have a little bit of our thoughts after, and then PM in the PM that night, like I said. And then Xbox Ultimate Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hope you have a good one, everybody. And take it easy. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.